Coming up next, more of our international flavor tonight, Aminov and Darius Hunter. That's coming up next from Lodi, New Jersey. Don't go away. There's the winner, Kamari Salim. And Smitty just finished talking to him at 35 years of age. He does not have a lot of time. The clock is ticking on his career. This is a man that seems to be getting better with age.
Yeah, you'd like to see him step it up in terms of opposition, although Bowman went in there with an impressive record. He's been on that losing streak, so.
Kamari Salim, as the management has told us, wants to have a shot at that WBO belt next year. In a fight like this, a victory like this, I'm not so sure that is impressive. It's just a victory, as you mentioned in the interview, fighting a guy who had lost 6 of his last 7, a guy who'd been knocked out 5 times recently. Not a real good judge of where Kamari Salim is on an elite level right now.
Does it get him ready for a guy like Calzaghe? That answer is probably not.
Kamari Salim right there, posing for pictures. And, you know, here's a guy who's got a great personality, hard worker. I don't think we really saw what he was all about tonight because of the short nature of that fight. Getting set to step into the ring. Ruslan Aminov, a record of 3-0 from Brooklyn, New York. We were talking to him last night, and he looks like he's got a load of talent. Pro career began back in January of this year, so he is on a very fast track in his light middleweight career. I'm Larry Michael, along with James Smith. We just witnessed the NBA championship, won by Kamari Salim by way of second-round TKO over Kenny Bowman. His corner threw in the towel. That was a good move. I don't think he could have competed with Salim tonight. Just didn't have the goods, didn't have strong enough legs. So Salim takes on the title. Lodi, New Jersey is the site, getting set for bonus action. Aminov and Darius Hunter. Hunter from Philadelphia, a record of 1-3, does not have a knockout to his credit. And Aminov also 3-0 without a knockout. So we'll see if either one of these men has knockout power here in Lodi. There's Darius Hunter. Smitty, what can you tell us about him?
Well, we know that he's 1-3, no KOs. Resides in nearby Trenton, New Jersey. Seemed pretty confident yesterday when we spoke to him. Not a lot of amateur fights. Says he's learning as he goes along.
This is a tough sport for on-the-job training.
It really is. So important to have that amateur career. Like Salim, we saw in the last fight, over 200 amateur fights. It's just so important.
Darius Hunter. Fight is scheduled for 6 rounds, junior middleweights. There's Aminov. And he said you've got punching power, you're going to find out tonight, he said, because without a knockout to his credit right now, there's a question about whether he's got some pop. And he says, I've got some pop.
Now, he has that pretty good amateur experience. Had 35 amateur fights. Was in the Junior Olympics. Had some Golden Gloves titles. Conventional stance. Boxer puncher. Says his best punch, the knockout punch, which we haven't seen one in his pro career, is that left hook.
Let's check out the tail of the tape for this 6th round junior middleweight battle.
See that Hunter a little bit older, much taller. The weight's 4 pound advantage for Hunter, and of course the big reach advantage for Hunter, but Aminov says he's going to get inside and nullify all of that.
And the rules for this one.
Scheduled for 6 rounds, the unified rules, no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count, only the referee can stop the fight. They go to the scorecards after 4 rounds, and the fighters cannot be saved by the bell in any rounds.
So we are set. Let's head out to Thomas Driver for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this sound is being brought to you by the Garwish Brothers Knockout Promotions, CSI Sports, and Corona La Cerveza Masina. from the Princess Chateau in Lodi, New Jersey. The 3 judges assigned scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Eugene Grant, Malvina Lathan, and Steve Weissfeld. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Ed Johnson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the junior middleweight division for 6 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first, fighting to my right out of the red corner, he weighed in at 155 pounds and is wearing black trunks with gray trim. Hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, his record consists of 1 win and 2 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darius Kidfire Hunter. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 151 pounds and is wearing white trunks with black lettering. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, he is undefeated with 3 wins and no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Knockout Promotions, here is Abdullah Aminov. Six rounds of boxing. Our referee in charge, Ed Johnson, to give the instructions.
Our boxers, the both of you give me instructions to the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight, tough gloves, and bell ring, come out fighting. Good luck.
This one is scheduled for 6 rounds tonight here in Lodi, New Jersey.
Aminov originally from, I think it's Tajikistan, which borders Afghanistan. How come you let me say that? I think it's Tajikistan?
Is that where he's from? I thought it was Uzbekistan.
It borders Afghanistan.
I thought it was Uzbekistan.
And he's been fighting since the age of 7.
How about Kazakhstan?
He said Tajikistan.
We are underway. Obviously, he found the tattoo stand on the way to the United States because he is heavily tatted, especially on the back. Straight right hand by Aminov. He's wanting to show his power tonight. He is 3-0 without a knockout. And this is one opponent, Darius Hunter, with the 3 losses, who Aminov thought he could take out here tonight.
Now you see a bad habit of Hunter, dropping, watch him throw the left hand, drop it right down. Keep that left hand straight back, otherwise he'll be countered with the right hand of Aminov.
No feeling out process in this one. These guys are going right after each other.
Hunter's not quick enough to get away with the hands down that low.
A lumbering left by Hunter that time. Hunter's sticking that jab right in Aminov's face, not allowing him to find any rhythm here early, Smitty.
Well, despite the fact that he's the shorter guy, Aminov's the one like moving around like he's the taller fighter. He needs to work and get him on the inside. Gives up a lot of height and reach. He's starting from too far outside.
I was going to say, he's throwing his punches from 3 feet away. He's got to get a little bit closer and cut down that distance.
There's a nice right hand, but you're right, he's fighting like the taller fighter, standing back and hot-shotting. That's not the way to get it done, and you're going to lack power doing that.
Nice right hand by Hunter, left-right combination by Aminov as a reply. Nice jab by Hunter. You're right, he keeps that left hand down low, but the jab is scoring. Overhand right by Aminov scores. It's been an action-packed round 1 so far.
Even though it's early, if Aminov is going to be an impressive fighter, being that height or lack thereof, he's going to have to learn how to get inside. Can't languish on the outside as he goes up and out of position. He may get away with it tonight, but he won't be able to in the future.
Taking leverage and power away from himself in that distance because he's reaching with his punches.
Right. I mean, he's the height of a featherweight, not a junior middleweight, so he's got to learn how to get inside.
Those thick broad shoulders, so he's got some power, but he needs to be able to get close enough to use it.
Well, he has power, but he has, we think, but he has no knockouts in his professional career, and now we get a chance to see why. Maybe some blood. Did I see some blood on the forehead of Aminov? I don't know.
Come on,
There's a little blood on the forehead of Aminov, but I think that's coming from his mouth or nose. A little blood from the mouth of Aminov. Been eating that jab. But Hunter, good flurry to finish round 1 by Aminov. question, obviously, is about his power.
You gotta get inside of him, right? How do you do it? Behind the jab and in the hand, right?
Yo, that straight right hand's waiting. Straight right hand's waiting. He's dropping his left hand.
Hold on.
We'll get back in action from round one.
See Hunter on the attack. Nice double left hook. And then a right hand by Aminov. That was actually his best flurry right at the end of that first round, a round that he certainly won.
Tough to jab when it's got pop.
Darius, you're pretty good with the jab, Darius. Feel with the jab.
Little abrasion on the forehead of Aminov. Close first round, Smitty. Who did you give round one to?
Even to Aminov, a little bit busier, more accurate. Had a good flurry at the end of the round. Hunter's fairly tall for a junior middleweight. He's got long arms, but look at him. He's not utilizing it the way he should. And again, it's okay to put those hands down like that if you're Tommy Hearns, but not Darius Hunter.
I think he gave a lot of confidence in round one by using that jab in a fine fashion. And folks at ringside are just begging him to keep throwing that jab, and he is falling into the Tommy Hearns long left routine, swinging that left down along his waist, and he is building confidence, and you wonder if he's got the skills to match that confidence.
Well, he's doing the right thing now until he gets hit with a combination that wobbled him.
Big right hand scores, and Aminov jumping right in his grill.
Step back.
And the referee, Ed Johnson, pulls him apart. Understand why Aminov does not step inside Smitty and just lay into him.
Yeah, you can't generate any power when you're coming in like that. You can land some nice punches, but you're not going to get any power.
Big left hand. Hunter being hunted by Aminov right now. A little blood from the nose of Aminov. Punching right hand. Hunter, though, has got his wits about him. Not so sure about his legs, but his wits are there. You can see the legs of Hunter reacting poorly as the referee pushed him away.
Larry, Aminov basically just an arm puncher, though, because of his stance and the way he positions his body. So that's all arm punches, and you can be effective and win some fights like that, but you're really not going to generate maximum power doing that.
Well, bombing, weaving, blood from the nose of Aminov right now. And Hunter continues to throw that left hand out there. And Aminov has his mouth wide open, Smitty. The blood from his nose could be restricting his breathing.
Hunter should throw more than one jab at a time. There's a nice right hand, but he needs to, he's just throwing his one and done. He needs to throw that jab in combination and then come back with the right hand.
Wild high with the left by Hunter. Another wild left hook. Aminov's nose looking a little pulpy right now. I'm not so sure Aminov might have punched himself out there early in this round.
I think both fighters are a little fatigued.
Aminov got backing up against the ropes, maybe trying to counter with a slapping right hand with the open glove.
Blood coming from the nose of Aminov. That's because of that left jab you just saw there.
And Aminov on his toes, Smitty, it doesn't look like he gets proper leverage. He's in the air when he's punching. Closing moments of round two here in Lodi, New Jersey. Aminov and Hunter scheduled for 6. Check the corner of Aminov.
Clean your nose out. No, only one attack.
Yeah, sure.
Not allowed, not allowed.
No.
No. 2 people can't come in. No, 2 people.
A lot of confusion in the corner of Aminov. There's 2 languages being spoken. There are people coming and going in the corner space. That's a mess. Not that right there, but the corner work.
Action in the second round. You see Hunter with a nice right hand and Aminov with a left hook.
Round 3 underway. And this know, it could get interesting, Smitty, because of Aminov and his technique, if nothing else, and the jab, and the strength of Hunter beginning to show a little bit.
That's not strength. You know what that is? That's what you said earlier, the balance. The fact that he was square. When you're square like that, a fighter can be just pushed back because your legs are, parallel like that. That's not the proper stance. And that's why you have no balance and you don't generate any power.
Does not dig his feet into the canvas to deliver any blows. He's on the move when he punches.
And you have to have a lead foot no matter what. There has to be a lead. In his case, since he's a conventional fighter, he should have that, the left foot out in front, which he does there. But at times, he squares up. And that makes him vulnerable and takes away from any punching power that he might have.
Another nice jab by Hunter. I mean, just keeping it right to the face of Aminov. Hard to score that spinning though. Hard to score a run in favor of Hunter when he throws a few jabs that are effective, and that's it.
And his problem is he's just not busy enough. Nice left hook there, but it's a slapping left hook by Aminov. Hunter's not taking advantage of his height, of his reach.
Hunter's got his mouth open as well, just trying to suck some air into his lungs.
And he's right there. If Aminov can just get inside, Hunter's wide open for the right hand.
Hunter needed the punch that time. Aminov laying back, and Hunter again growing in confidence here behind that jab.
When you look at the build of Aminov in our conversations with him yesterday, Larry, we thought he told us Mike Tyson was this is not a Tyson-esque type performance. It has the tattoos, but
Aminov waiting for the mouth and nose. His eyes beginning to show the effects of that jab from Hunter. And I'm looking at Hunter leading this round, Smitty, because Aminov has done very little offensively. Hunter, at least, has applied that jab effectively. Aminov leads in with the left hand, and he tags Hunter right on the lips. Another left hand, leaping in again, Aminov scores. Again, nice head movement as he works his way behind that left hand. Aminov working his way in, maybe stealing the round in the final minute. Hunter wild high again with the right hand.
If people say perhaps, I'm harping too much on, punching power, remember, if you're ever going to go to the top of the junior middleweight division, you have guys up there like Mosley and De La Hoya and Vargas, so you have to have some pop, to go along with your arsenal.
Hunter coming forward once again. That's how this round started. Aminov had about 30 seconds of effective offense midway through, but a good round for Darius Hunter as this fight apparently getting closer. Let's check the corner of Darius Hunter and see what kind of confidence they're showing their man.
No problem. Nothing to worry about.
I got it. All right, look. You're doing good, but you got to work behind the jab. If working behind the jab, everything is working for you. When you throw the right hand, don't throw it out, throw it down. Because he's going to duck. He's going to duck right into it. After you fire the right hand, I want you to come back with a hook and then another right hand. All right? Step with each one of them.
You won that round. So we won them all, okay?
Don't let him steal them out. Whatever you do, don't let him steal them out. Can you do one
Good
shot?
calm advice in the corner of Hunter. Fourth round coming up. Corner of Aminov showing signs of desperation, though this is just the fourth round. It's scheduled for 6, Benny. What's your scorecard say after 3?
I have Aminov ahead right now by a point, but it's very close. Interesting in the corner of Hunter, and it's good to give your fighter confidence and say you won the round, but with a guy who fights like Hunter, you wonder whether you should tell him he's won the last round. There goes the mouthpiece.
Good left hand that time by Aminov, just knocks the mouthpiece out of the teeth. Darius Hunter, who's going to go to his corner and get it replaced. It's a good leaping left hand by Aminov there. Another left hand, same exact punch. Back to back. Flash of heads as Aminov comes forward.
Aminov throwing that left hook. There's only a few fighters I can think of that can get away with throwing that left hook from way outside and get away with it. Tyson was one of them, but he had just what we like to call heavy hands.
Joe Frazier would be the other.
Frazier used to sweep with his, right. But usually Joe would be more on the inside than this. Right now you see Hunter really slowing down. I think it's fatigue. Mouth open.
Aminov leaning in with that left hand again. That left hand has found a home on the dome of Hunter.
Aminov needs to jump right in on his chest and go to work. Right now is his opening for a knockout if he wants to get his first punch or a stoppage because Hunter's very tired. Look at the mouth. Wide open. Gasping.
Straight right hand by Aminov. Checks the head of Hunter. And for the first time we have a clinch in this fight.
Aminov needs to have more killer instinct, though. He had this guy backing up, mouth wide open, and he lets him get back in it. Finish it.
Overhand right by Aminov, just off the mark. And you're right, Hunter is slowing down. Obviously, slowing down in this round. After maybe his best round of the fight. The early onslaught by Aminov here. Nice uppercut that time by Hunter. Surprised he has not thrown the uppercut up until this point, Smitty.
Yeah, he's too short. Aminov's too short to be this patient in this junior middleweight division. When you get your opportunity, you have to seize that opportunity. And he had it earlier. Now he's letting Hunter get back in this round a little bit.
Left-right combination by Hunter scores with 30 seconds to go in round 4. And he ain't going nowhere, is he?
Aminov's tired a little bit now, I think, Larry.
Yes.
No hit.
The left-right combination by Hunter as Aminov in some difficulty up against the ropes. Find out what Aminov is made of in this fight. That's for sure.
Needs to come underneath Hunter if he has any strength. Underneath like that.
Hunter is arm-weary right now. Good comeback at the end of this round by Hunter. We're in Lodi, New Jersey. World Class Championship boxing. Good one in the ring right now. There's Aminov. Let's listen in. You can start over. Looking back at action from round 4, Aminov started fast.
Left hook, right on the jaw, but other than the mouthpiece going somewhere, Hunter didn't go anywhere. Hunter comes back with a combination, left and right, backs up Aminov towards the end of that round. You make a strong case that that was an even last round.
Not gonna lie, don't be smart. Put together, put your punches together, off the jab, hands high.
Round 5 scheduled for 6. Round 4 now. Aminov starting quickly. And Hunter coming on at the end of the round. There's been a certain ebb and flow, changes of momentum several times during this fight.
You know what I see with these guys are fairly even in ability, fairly even in where they're at in terms of their career. Both had about 3 or 4 fights. It's going to be right now who wants it the most. Who's going to, bear down and take it from the other guy.
Finally on the inside, finally sitting down on some of those punches. And they're crunching off the skull of Hunter right now.
That's what it's going to boil down to, Larry. Who really is going to dig down and take it? Because neither one of these guys are going to be Class A fighters ever. They still hopefully have the heart to want to win every time out.
Aminov has done very little to the body of Hunter. Both men arm weary right now. Nice uppercut by Aminov that time. They're leaning on each other right now.
Larry, he got a little power behind that shot because he's on the inside and his short arms was able to get a little bit more behind that shot. There's a better left hook, too.
There goes that mouthpiece again with a minute and a half to go in round 5, and the referee stops the clock. clock.
The next time I'm taking the point. The next time I take the point. Now this is the last one, okay? You got to keep your mouthpiece in. All right?
Well, I think Aminov might be helping him lose that mouthpiece, isn't he?
Well, you know, if that and the fatigue, the referee's serious there.
He is mad at the fighter for losing his mouthpiece. This guy's been mad about something.
Yeah, I don't think this is a situation, you're right, where he's doing it intentionally buying time. He's gasping for air and getting hit. Right now, he's really a stationary target, Hunter is.
Well, Aminov is really laying into Hunter right now here in round 5, doing a lot of damage on the inside. And you wonder why Aminov is home from a distance when he seems to be a much better fighter on the inside than from the outside. The right hand off the side of Hunter's head. Took blood from the nose of Aminov. And he's dropped the mouthpiece again. Hunter drops the mouthpiece again.
They're going to take a point from Hunter.
And he is going to take a point away from him.
1 point.
Ed Johnson deducts a point for losing the mouthpiece. And again, I don't think the fighter did that intentionally. That's a rough call.
No, you're right, but the referee warned him. He did it, you know, twice in the same round, so...
Another jab by Aminov. That has been a missing punch for Aminov. I don't think he's thrown 10 jabs in this fight. There's another one. Hunter has lost all power behind his shots, and Aminov is just walking right through him. Somehow Hunter digging deep here at the end of round 5.
Mouthpiece is supposed to be coming out again, you see, and that's the problem. Look at his breathing. It almost looks like it's a mouthpiece that perhaps doesn't fit properly.
Good round for Aminov, extending his lead here with 3 minutes to go.
You got to keep your mouthpiece in, okay?
I can't do it for him, I'm telling you.
Okay?
Bad fit mouthpiece.
Referee telling the cornerman did the right thing. You know what to do? I'm deciding my mouth. He's getting mad at the cornerman, too. Referee's a little edgy tonight.
I need to stay behind the jab when it's got.
Gotta pull together, son.
Stay behind the jab.
It's a referee with an attitude.
Last round.
Since the final round, can you give it to me hard? Without getting careless? All right. I know you got this in you, Darius. You're a better fighter than this guy. Well, the same way you beat with Halil, I want you to do this. But instead of throwing it up, if you think it's there, throw it low. Throw it lower than you think you're coming. All right? Do what you got to do, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And keep him behind that jab. Hard.
Sixth and final round underway here. And Smitty, quickly your scorecard after 5.
I have Aminov ahead by 3 points, 49-46. I scored that last round, a 10-8 round. Aminov won the round, plus the referee deducted the point for the mouthpiece coming out.
Left-right combination by Aminov. I mean, you do have to question the punching power of Aminov. Does not have a knockout in his career. And he has hit Hunter with every single punch he has.
Yeah.
And Hunter is continuing to move forward. And in fact, stuns Aminov with that right hand.
Yeah, I don't question it. He just doesn't have punching power. He's just not going to be a big puncher as a junior middleweight, but hopefully he can throw enough punches to try to finish some guys off. Here's his opportunity to get his first KO. Hunter, a stationary target. The mouthpiece is about to come out again.
Hunter is more frustrated than hurt, Smitty. He's frustrated with his own performance. He's taking the shots, and he's not getting wobbled.
He's dead tired, though, Larry. Look at his hands. Feet look like they're in cement.
Is that cement or cement?
Either one. But Aminov can really cement this victory by just coming forward and throwing some punches.
See, I know it was cement.
Great opportunity to get his first stoppage.
Aminov looks like a beaten-up fighter, but he is in the lead right now, especially after that point deduction. That didn't help Hunter any. The last couple of rounds for Hunter have been rounds of survival.
Look at the mouth of Hunter. Wide open. I'm surprised that mouthpiece hasn't fallen out again.
He is winning, no doubt about that. You wonder if he did the proper road work for this one. Aminov swollen, busted up. The jab of Hunter did some damage.
What's he doing sitting out there on the outside? This is a great opportunity for him. He's unbeaten. National television exposure for Aminov, and he should be going in for the kill here.
I mean, Hunter's a beaten man. I don't know what's keeping him up. But if Aminov hits him flush, he might go.
Now Aminov setting down in his shots.
Big overhand right by Aminov. Less than a minute to go. Hunter there with his mouth open. Big right hand, and he rolled it but didn't go down. Now Aminov puts him in a headlock and pushes him away.
Aminov's going to get the reputation to be a feather-fisted fighter if he's not able to put guys like this away.
What kind of reputation that you want? Left-right combination. Hunter almost defenseless.
He really is, Larry. Look at him. Nothing left.
Legs are gone. Nothing behind his punches. All that's left is heart right now. Aminov finishes strong. The decision is next. There's Hunter now. He can take out the mouthpiece without getting a point deducted now.
I feel. I don't know which limb I can draw. We should.
Good performance by Aminov, and in fact, he should be the winner of this one. But he never put his man down. That is going to be something that they'll go back to the drawing board and find out what they might be able to do. But Smitty, that's one of the things you cannot really teach power.
No, you can improve power, but you're born, you know, you can improve your technique, improve your skills, but, you know, natural power's a thing you're just God-given thing.
Where you go? You look good.
And he doesn't have it.
Darius Hunter goes the distance with Ruslan Aminov. Talking to Aminov in the lobby of a hotel, very confident young man, and you wonder what goes through his mind when he has no knockouts now in his career. He's got ability. It's just a question of the opposition having tough chins and a lack of punching power. Darius Hunter doesn't look too worse for wear, but he is a tired man. You can hear the corner of Darius Hunter begging for a draw. Can you hear that in the background? They said it a couple times. Maybe we got a draw.
I have Aminov winning by 4 points.
Aminov swollen, scraped, leading, but anticipating a victory. Aminov waits as we prepare for the decision. Thomas Triber has it. Let's see who won this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the Corona scorecards. Both judges, Steve Weisfeld and Alvina Lathan, are in agreement, scoring about exactly the same, 58-55. And Judge Eugene Grant scores about 59-54, all in favor of your winner, Abdullah Aminov.
Aminov gets the victory. No surprise there. Maybe the discrepancy on one of the judges' scorecards could be questioned, but no doubt about it. Aminov, the better man tonight, as he poses for pictures with the Darvish brothers. There they are. Now you look at Aminov, Smitty, if you were his trainer, what would you tell him he needs to work on to develop a little punchy power?
Well, first off, he needs to work on his balance. He needs to work on his stance. He needs to work on the ability to slip